Well, but to be fair, the stranger did have two friends with him.
And who has time to find the internet anymore?
What you wrote there is the Mel Gibson investment strategy.
Is that the flame of imagination?
Just believe.
It's bullshit, and it's horrifying.
I'm going to my mind cave. There's not a doctor there.
Sushi jackknife. 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 Sushi jackknife.
Diva.
You're just so sassy.
I got some sass about me.
You walk around saying whatever you want.
You know what they call me?
What?
Captain Sassafras. I got that sassafras sass.
You got some sassa ass, don't you?
I don't know what that means, but I'll accept it. It rhymes. If it rhymes, I can't argue with it.
So you can make no argument against anything in a Dr. Seuss book.
Exactly.
Oh God.
I read those to Oliver all the time.
Yeah.
And every time I read one, I'm like, I can't argue with any of this. Number one, it's impossible to argue with nonsense words.
Right.
Because you're trying to figure out what they mean based on context clues, but you don't know. You're looking at the picture going, maybe that's a zizzer zazzer zuzz? I don't know. So you can't argue with it, because any argument you make, the other side's just going to go, that's not what it is. You don't understand. You just don't get it.
It's nice that you go read to despondent 25-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oliver is your baby. Yeah.
Yes.
It's one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. Mm-hmm. To quote the whole title.
Yeah.
There's a part in that book, because I've read that to Holden, and the kids keep bringing home these monsters in the book. Like, there's no real plot to the book, but about halfway through, it just gets into a thing like, we have a Zans for cans.
Yep.
Zans opens cans. You should have a Zans if you have cans.
Exactly.
That kind of thing. And then there's, I forget what they call it. I think they call it like Gary. Like, we found this in the park. He will grow bigger and bigger, and we will call him Gary. Well, that doesn't rhyme, but you know what I'm saying. And it looks like a half man, half walrus, and it's giant, and it's living in like a big glass like ball thing with just the head sticking out with these tusks. It's horrifying.
I think if I were Dr. Seuss, in at least one book, I would have gone all the way through my rhyming thing and just like 2 pages from the end, not quite to the end.
Yeah.
But just 2 pages from the end, just have a word that doesn't rhyme at all.
Absolutely.
Like, go through your entire rhyming scheme, and then at the bottom, just have, actually, my name is Chuck. It doesn't tie in, but it's Chuck, just so you know.
Yeah.
And then just move on. And every parent reading that, because you get in your rhythm, you're like, da 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 Chuck.
What do you want me to do, kid? Well, it's true. Like,
that's it.
A sudden moment of blank verse and all that strict rhyming. Yeah. A lot of his shit too is just like a thing, and then that thing backwards is the next sentence.
Yeah.
And so it really does lead you down a path of insanity. I don't know why these books are popular with children. A lot of them have questionable like themes.
Oh, I loved them when I was a kid.
I was never big on them, really.
Your loss. I learned the alphabet from Dr. Seuss.
Like, The Cat in the Hat is about allowing a stranger in your house when there's no parent around.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Well, but to be fair, the stranger did have two friends with him.
Who he kept in a box.
Yeah.
Whose
and
names,
called them things.
Yes, exactly. And they had matching outfits. They had no names, thing 1 and thing 2.
Maybe it's... The moral of that story isn't anything about like how much fun you can have inside. It's just like, hey, don't talk to cats. don't talk to cats and let them in the house.
I think that's exactly what the moral of that story is. And the fish is the moral agent
Yeah.
in the whole book. Like, the fish is like, he should not be here while your mother is out,
Yeah.
saying exactly what every parent is thinking.
The fish, though, is played off as the bad guy in the
He
book.
is. He's played off like a real dick.
He's like the wet blanket.
He is.
Like, oh, that fish. Nah, he's no fun.
Put him in
Let's throw a cake. Blah.
Exactly. Let's put him in a teapot. Suggesting that he might get boiled.
Yeah.
And then at the end, the question at I just read this book the other day, so I don't have Cat in the Hat memorized, but the question at the end of Cat in the Hat is, would you tell your mom about what happened today? That's the question. It's like asking the child that's being read the book, would you tell your mother?
Moral decision.
Yeah, that's the end of the Cat in the Hat. It's bullshit, and it's horrifying.
There's a secret last page after that explains lies of omission.
Yes.
So make sure you find that page and read it too.
Little Caucasian lies. Hop on Pop is fine. I don't think there's anything weird.
I hate Hop on Pop.
I don't think there's anything weird in it, though.
No, but the book is just awful.
Yeah. The worst one by far to read, which it tells you at the beginning, is Fox and Socks. Fuck that book.
We don't have it because I looked at it and went, no thanks.
Oh, it's so bad. It's so hard to read.
Maybe we do.
You might. If you have you probably have Fox and Socks.
By the way, welcome to Sushi Jackknife.
Oh, yeah. Hi, guys. How's it going?
This is the magical 74th episode.
It is! And it is.
Look, I got an episode number right.
Because I just said it, like...
Don't take it from me.
Well, fine. Okay.
I did it.
You can have it. You can have it. You got an episode number
I've been tattooing tally marks all along my arm.
Oh,
you just don't know it.
It's memento up in here. Yeah.
I'm really excited for that 75th, so it'll be even.
Do you have a tattoo that says podcast on Thursday?
Yeah.
Don't forget. Who is Mr. Justin?
The issue is when we have to reschedule, I have to go cross out and put a different day on there, but then we go back to Thursday, so I have to cross that one out.
You are keeping your tattooist in business. Or do you just have a home rig? That would be my question.
No.
Okay.
I can't afford that. I go down the street.
Afford?
A home rig, yeah.
A paper clip,
I don't
a
have,
lighter,
can't afford it.
some Indian ink.
Native American ink.
I know. I'm sorry.
What do you think you're doing?
Or you could just like crack open like an HP cartridge.
First off, I can't use Native American ink for my tattoos. That's cultural appropriation.
Good point.
Secondly, HP ink? Who has a printer these days? It's 2017. Get with the times, buddy.
I'll get with the New York Times.
No!
Oh, yeah.
He has a New York Times, for those who can't see what just happened.
Extremely hard to find here in Nashville, the New York Times. You either have to go to a Starbucks or you have to know the right grocery store.
Or find the internet.
I'm talking about a printed version. And who has time to find the internet anymore? Let's be honest.
Pretty sure it's just New York
What was
Times.
the thing what was the thing in Y Times?
In Y Times?
What was the thing we were looking at a second ago here? Oh, yeah. The Annotated Mein Kampf is a bestseller in Germany. Mm-hmm. A reviled work gains context with 3,500 scholarly notations.
So this actually ties into something I heard the other day.
Okay.
So we've had the Brexit.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I've heard, I don't remember what it was, but some sort of political lunacy happened here in the United States recently.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
There was a thing.
It involves some golden-haired baboon. Anyway.
Orangutan.
I'm sorry, my mistake. I should have known by his red posterior.
Don't you know the species of... Are you saying he has a red ass?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Exactly what I'm saying. Didn't you hear that on the Billy Bush tape? He was bragging about how red he was down there.
And Billy Bush said, "Yeah, man, I just like to grab him by the red."
Yeah. So they were saying on the radio that after those two political lunacies, they're expecting, based on movements, the same sort of thing happening this year in, I believe it was France,
yeah.
and of course Germany. So it would make sense that people are now reading Mein Kampf in Germany.
Yeah.
Because
as we are in the
that's
middle,
happening.
Yeah, as we are in the middle of like a proto-fascist thing happening. There's a swell of nationalism happening right now. Mm-hmm. That's kind of what prompts Brexit. That's definitely what's prompting Frexit, if I may, or Fricassee.
Okay.
Coin that one.
Yeah.
You heard it here first. And that's part of what's not nationalism exactly here, but something like that. I mean, it's spreading, and yeah, you're right. It does kind of tie into people.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard that for Germany yet, but I could see it because I know that Merkel is not popular.
That's what they were saying.
Yeah. And she's allowed a lot of immigrants, in which I'm all for. Not immigrants. Well, immigrants and refugees.
Refugees.
So,
No, that's...
No. That was the group with Lauryn Hill.
Oh, she was in the Refugees?
Refugees. Her solo career was very successful, too. Another thing I've learned about the New York Times, and I'm a big fan of the New York Times, but I've never read a newspaper before where people took out full-page ads. And maybe this is a sign of our times here.
That they took out a full-page ad?
Well, a full-page ad like this. It says, this is by refusefascism.org, and it says half the page, "No, in the name of humanity, we refuse to accept a fascist America." There's a lot of nice-looking bullet points here. I haven't read this. But at the bottom it says, "Stop the Trump-Pence regime before it starts." But anyway, I just wanted to point out there's these full-page... And then the last New York Times I bought last week included a full-page ad. Basically about... It was about Syria. And I was just like, I'm impressed that people do this, you know?
Yeah. Well, to be fair...
Yeah.
It's the New York Times, and no one wants to advertise there anymore. So you can probably take out a full-page ad for like $1. You're just like, fine, just
you've got a
whatever.
Point. You've got a point.
It's just one more page we don't have to write.
God, I might as well give you guys the headlines, right? Since it's in front of me. What do you think? This was from yesterday. This is from Wednesday.
So wait.
I'm giving you day-old news that'll come out in like...
Yeah.
Never mind.
You're going... Justin presents news that's a week old by the time you hear it.
By the time you know the other shit that's going on, I'll present you with this news. Last week we mentioned consuming the majestic hackberry from my yard. Hackberry, which is this giant tree in my front yard. Mm-hmm. And it puts off these little berries, and from what I read, they're edible. But I'm going to be honest with you right now. I'm scared.
See,
I'm not going to swallow this.
I don't like the "from what I hear" thing.
Well, is this any more comforting? I read it on Wikipedia.
That is mildly comforting, but not entirely comforting.
Okay. All right, I got you one too.
Now, here's the question.
Yeah.
1 to 10, how sure are we that these are hackberries?
That was my question too. I'm pretty darn sure. But if you want to look it up real quick.
What? You're pretty darn sure. That's not on the 1 to 10 scale.
I'm a 7.
Oh, cool.
7.
So there's only like a 30% chance it kills us.
Of death, yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
So these are small, kind of maroon-colored berries.
I would say they're a little hackish.
They're hackish, yeah. They're a little washed up. There's a pretty big seed in here. There's not actually a whole lot of, like, meat to this. Doesn't really put off a smell. But I'll tell you that this tree, 3 times a year, puts off sap like nobody's fucking business. We're just talking sap. Gets all over the cars.
Inconclusive.
Really?
I typed in hackberry.
Yeah.
And you can see every part of the hackberry tree.
Yeah.
Except the hackberry. And I saw one, and it was bright red, and I went, well, that's not this.
Okay.
And then the next one was maroon. I went, well, this is maroon.
Yeah.
And then the next one was green. So I don't know where it's coming from anymore.
All right. Well, let's do this. Let's just... I know they're native to this. Let's just lick them.
Well, you have to bust it open to taste it.
You gonna taste it? You gonna taste it with me?
Yeah.
Ooh, the lick is sour. I got sour. You know, try it. Here we go. We might die.
I don't care for it. I don't care for it one bit.
Ooh, it's real sour.
Yeah. I just got enough in there that if it's poisonous, my mouth is probably going to go numb, but that's it.
Or you might get insanely high. Ooh, interesting.
I don't think you need a drug tree in your front yard, though.
No, that's true. People would be all over that. They couldn't get them away.
Yeah. There'd just be, all the neighbors would want to come visit.
Yeah, I didn't get much out of that except like a sourness.
Yeah, it's not great.
Almost like
it's like sour and bitter.
Yeah.
Bitter sour.
Like a real old cherry or something.
Yeah, like an old cherry.
Okay, not much.
Old cherry.
Why are you repeating that?
Yeah, like an old cherry.
Why are you repeating that? You never eaten an old cherry before?
That's what it's like. It's like an old cherry.
I mean, that's how I would...
Old cherry.
What the hell are you getting at? Are you getting at anything?
Nah.
Okay. I didn't think so, but I was nervous.
That would be a really good good nickname.
Old Cherry?
Yeah.
Sounds like a...
Old Cherry.
Oh, Old Cherry.
I went down to the Old Cherry. That's the name of a city.
Okay.
The Old Cherry. You got the Big Apple up north. It's where that liberal propaganda you were just reading came from. Old Cherry down south.
No. West.
West?
West. A lot of cherries come from Washington State.
I know, but it doesn't have to make sense.
Okay. So maybe by the time...
I feel like South Carolina would have an Old Cherry.
Yes.
Even though they don't have any cherries.
They don't produce cherries.
They don't know what a cherry actually is.
By the time the cherries get from Washington to South Carolina, they would be old. So there you go.
They call it Old Cherry because it has the Walmart with the most maraschinos in the continental United States.
I was thinking about Old Cherry more as like a tavern. You know what I mean?
The Old Cherry Tavern.
Yeah.
Old Cherry Tavern.
I'll stand you a pint of ale at the Old Cherry and we'll talk of revolution.
It's really a bummer that the Old Cherry's in a dry county.
Yeah.
All you can get is that sassafras.
And a cider. You can get a cider. Low alcohol content. So last week's episode, we were talking about drinks, right? We were talking about that book.
Drinks.
6 drinks that said the history of the world in 6 classes.
Yeah.
I tweeted the episode to the guy that wrote the book, and he liked it. That was that was the extent of our interaction.
What's his name?
Tom Standage.
Tom Standage.
Yeah, he's British. He writes for The Economist now. We're getting pretty reputable. Just saying. We got a like from a guy who works at The Economist.
Sounds like a liberal to me.
You're a liberal.
I'm wildly against liberals today.
They're pissing in your cornflakes today. Oh yeah, that's right. Well, first of all,
did you just remind yourself?
I did
of something.
I did. I'm looking at some notes, you guys. Nathan's lighting a lighter for me.
Go ahead.
Is that the flame of imagination? Okay, all right. Keep it
just
burning.
Believe.
This is apropos of nothing, but I thought it was funny. If you could reimagine Vladimir Putin as being half Canadian, his name could be Vladimir Poutine. Just saying. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, it's a little friendlier.
You know what? I would like that leader.
Vladimir Poutine? Yeah. He's hard, but he's squishy.
He's gonna throw some gravy on those cheese curds.
That's right. You ever had poutine?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Oh yeah.
It's
there's nothing to dislike about poutine.
Cheese, gravy, fries, right?
Yeah.
Anyway,
all good stuff.
Oh yeah, we were gonna try to read my old science fiction story from when I was in like 4th grade, but I couldn't find it. However, I did find a folder from 5th grade, and I'm gonna let you peruse.
This is gonna be good.
I'm gonna let you peruse. I keep everything, you guys.
Okay, well, first off, let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
Your homeroom was at 8:15.
Yes.
And you had a field trip to wherever everyone wants to go at 9 o'clock.
Smart kid.
10 o'clock you had do whatever time. 11 o'clock you had lunch.
Disciplined, yeah.
1 o'clock. Wait, before we get to what happens at 1 o'clock, Can we establish that you as a 5th grader went 2-hour lunch?
2 hour
That's
lunch.
what I need.
That's exactly what I needed.
1 o'clock, bomb setting time.
Yeah.
2 o'clock break. 3 o'clock, kaboom.
I didn't remember being this dark of a kid.
I'm relatively certain if you did this now,
Yeah.
there would be suspensions.
Oh, yeah.
And you would be investigated.
Counselor's office for sure. Well,
Why are you threatening to blow up the school at 3 o'clock? What's happening? Don't do this if you're out there.
I know. It was, and this was in the 90s, right? So this was pre-Columbine and all this.
Whose red notes are these?
Those would be my teachers.
So your teacher, your teacher saw this,
Right.
and wrote at 1 o'clock, where it's bomb setting time. What?
Exactly. Was there a question mark and an exclamation?
No, just what?
Just a question
I'm
mark.
assuming the exclamation point was implied.
Yeah. And what did she write by kaboom?
Not very nice. Assignment number 8. If I had one day to show an alien the best of our world, I would take him to Six Flags and ride all the rides until his little green head exploded.
Wow, I was a dark kid.
Have you looked through this?
Just a tad.
Do you know what your teacher wrote there?
What?
Oh no!
Keep going.
All right. I don't know what to write about. That bothers me. I usually like to write about pretty much anything.
Aw.
But today I don't feel well. You were the worst speller. W-H-E-L-E.
W-H. Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Wheel.
A wheel.
That bothers me too.
Oh.
And then you drew a picture of a face thinking of a block that you labeled writer's block.
Oh, that's awesome. Where'd it go, Justin?
And your teacher wrote, okay.
This is my journal. That's what this is, I think, if I'm remembering correctly.
If I had $1 million,
Okay.
I'm excited for
Yeah,
this.
I'm glad this became true.
The main things I would spend it on are, well, first, I would buy a car and a house.
Okay. Reasonable.
Okay. Now, the logical next step. Then get gold and silver doors. Then I'd buy an island somewhere in the tropics and name it after me.
I haven't read this one.
After that, I would save the rest in a bank. And your teacher is a liar. Your teacher wrote very smart. I'm relatively certain what you wrote there is the Mel Gibson investment strategy. I guarantee you. I know he has his own private island. I guarantee you there are gold and silver doors out there.
See, that doesn't make any damn sense because people would just come steal your doors.
They're not breaking into the house.
No.
They just want the doors.
They just want the doors.
That's good. All right, last one.
Okay.
For the time being.
For now.
Otherwise, it's just going to be me reading the whole podcast.
Well, I mean, keep going.
The things that are good about being a boy
Uh-oh.
are that boys do not have to have children.
Okay, yeah.
We also get to dress more comfortably, and we are accepted into things like sports, politics, and other things.
Wow, feminist early on.
The disadvantages are that boys have to wear ties sometimes and suits. Okay, I gotta do one more.
Okay, yeah.
Your teacher says good.
Good.
Approved.
Yeah. Approved. Stamp that.
I don't even know if I want to delve into this one.
Is it psychological?
No.
Is there feelings?
If I could have a personal robot that I could program to do anything,
Okay.
I would program my robot for hand jobs. No, that's not what it says. No. Man, that was a weird
Dodged
fifth
a
grader.
bullet there.
I would program my robot to clean my room,
Okay.
wash my clothes, make dinner for me every night, do my homework, go to school for me, turn on and change channels on the TV for me,
Wow.
make me another robot, shock anyone I don't like,
Ooh.
make money for me, and anything else I can think of on the spot.
It's a magic
Now,
robot.
real quick, before we're finished with this,
Yeah.
what I'm blocking your teacher's note. What would be your response to hearing someone suggest all of these ideas?
Poppycock.
Your teacher wrote, "Good ideas." You had a very encouraging teacher.
I did.
Now, the teacher, of course, was willing to let you blow up the school at 3:00.
Yep.
And also didn't care that you were building a robot to shock people you don't like.
It is crazy to me that no one I'm going back to no one raised alarms over the bomb setting.
Different
It was a
time.
different time, man.
If a kid right now
Holy shit.
just wrote an assignment that was, "Hey, I'm setting the bombs at 1:00. Well, see you later, teach."
Oh my
That would not
gosh.
go well.
Jeez.
It explains so much.
That's a lot.
So, this is very. What is this? Chris,
Yeah.
car salesman. This is just
Is
a
this a
list
story?
of names. No.
Oh, okay.
With labels next to them.
Interesting.
Greg.
Okay.
Hitman.
Oh, another red flag.
Avery.
Avery?
Terrorist.
Oh, I know what this is. Holy shit. This is the people in my class.
Uh-huh.
And I'm assigning their job.
Crystal is a housewife.
Okay.
Julie's an actress.
Ah.
Brant is a biologist. I assume we're going biologist.
That's a new area of study.
He biologists.
Yeah.
Angela is a secretary. Stephen or Stefan, I don't know how they pronounced
Let's
it,
go with Stefan.
was a gangster,
Oh.
which that hitman and terrorist all got sad faces from your teacher. Tanya was a writer,
Okay.
and you are an archaeologist,
Oh no, that's not me anymore.
which at first glance I thought said alcoholic.
That one I've moderately achieved.
That was interesting, according to your teacher.
There were only like 3 people in there.
What made you label one child a terrorist?
I remember that kid.
You're the one who's setting bombs in the school.
That kid was crazy though. He probably had a tough life. I remember that kid.
I don't know if it would be possible, but I would love to hear what your 5th grade teacher
Yeah.
thought about you, because based on this, your 5th grade teacher had to have thought you were a psychopath.
She must have.
Like, there's no way around it.
No. I mean, the kid who is a terrorist who assigned... But
Yeah.
by the way, this is before terrorism was like a big thing. I mean, it was a thing, but it wasn't as, as much now. That kid, I remember distinctly this kid. He was he was like the child incarnation of a chihuahua. My tongue hurts a little where I ate that thing.
Yeah, we're going to die probably.
Yeah.
Oh, well. What a way to go.
So, this kid, I remember being in gym one time. We were kind of friends, actually, me and this kid. And he was super, super skinny, kind of short, really, really thin.
Always was saying death to America.
Yeah, and it was it was like that era of really big clothes, like big jeans,
Yeah.
skater shoes.
You talking
big
Jinko
shirts.
era?
Jinko era, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So he dressed like that, right? And I sort of attempted it, but never really achieved it because I wasn't that cool. This kid I just have this memory, and it's not like a good example of him being. Maybe it is. I'm just gonna tell you the story. This kid, like, we were friends, and I remember like doing different stuff where we'd like push each other and stuff. You know what I mean? And at one point, he lays down on the ground and he's like, "Jump on my ribs." And I probably outweighed this kid by like, I don't know, maybe 50, 70 pounds.
Okay.
You know, I was a decent sized kid. And he's like, jump on my ribs. They're springy. And I did. I got on his chest and I jumped on his ribs, and his ribs were rather springy.
Interesting.
Really weird. I don't know why I remember that, but I remember that.
That's not very terrorist-like behavior.
Jump on me. I'm springy.
I want to be a trampoline. So that's a little bit into your head.
Yeah, I was surprised by most of that. You know, there's a couple things that seem right. Not the violence, you know. But there's a few things in there that seem accurate. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're flipping through this like Sigmund Freud.
I'm analyzing you, so I'm looking for the next threat that you made to people's well-being.
Well, it's probably there.
I'm
somewhere.
Well, I'm not going to read this whole thing, but the first sentence you wrote here is, the video I saw yesterday made me feel very sorry for that guy. Because, and then that's where I stopped reading, but your teacher's note at the bottom says, I'm glad you enjoyed it. So I'm hoping the rest of that took a different turn.
She was eternally sunshine. Yeah. She was so positive.
I really would like to hear your teacher talk about you.
That was 5th grade?
Yeah.
I remember this lady. 5th grade was a weird year for me. I was like...
You don't say!
I was like nerdy goody two-shoes kid my whole life until 5th grade, and for some reason I started to lose my shit a little bit, and her name was Miss Galloway.
Okay.
And Miss Galloway, I remember her, and Miss Galloway was a nice enough lady. She was a little like... She seemed a little off, to be honest.
You don't say.
She seemed like aloof and in her head a lot, and she would we would piss her off a lot. And I think there was something in me that switched that year. I had this crush on this girl who was like a skater girl, and something.
Hold on, wait.
Yeah.
The girl.
Yeah.
Was it?
You going back to the list?
Yeah.
It was probably the one I said was an actress.
Julie.
Probably Julie. I don't remember.
Or Crystal.
Could have been. No, I don't think Crystal. No.
Angela. Tanya.
Might have been Angela. It's either, I think Julie, though. I want to say Julie.
So you either really were into an actress or a secretary.
Yeah.
One of the two.
Sounds about right. No,
you
really.
have a type, secretaries.
Not at all. My wife is such a power player, you know what I mean? But
yeah, she's a really powerful secretary.
No.
I'm just kidding. She's not a secretary. And it's called a receptionist now. 2017, look it up, jerks.
Sorry. But yeah, I apologize for my comments as a 5th grader. But yeah, I remember I had this crush on this girl who was kind of a badass. And so I started to try to change my image. And I would try to upset the teacher, and I remember upsetting her so badly one day. And this is a real 180 for me.
Yeah.
Because like I say, goody two-shoes, never got in trouble, teacher's pet, that kid. I upset her so badly one day that she left the classroom full of children and walked down the hall and was like pulling at her hair. She had big orange hair that kind of like what was the Magic School Bus? Kind of like
that's
that.
who I was picturing.
But like unstable.
Ms. Frizzle.
Miss Frizzle, but unstable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Miss Frizzle's a little unstable too, but like in a nice way.
They did travel into a child's body at one point, so.
Yeah, but in a nice way, right? So yeah, she goes down the hall like pulling out her hair and stuff, and and she used to do this thing where she would like look up at the ceiling and like point and like look up and like kind of talk to herself, mumble to herself a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I think that was one thing where we sort of lost our confidence in her when we saw her do that. And
now, when she pointed, was she like neurotically pointing, or was it like Sammy Sosa hit a home run, point to the sky?
No.
Because God cares about Sammy Sosa's corked bat home runs.
She may have been she may have been praying to God. I don't know, but it definitely looked neurotic.
Lord, give me the strength.
Yeah,
This child's gonna blow up the school.
I used to say, you know how the drop ceiling has little divots in it, right?
Yeah.
I used to say that she was naming the dots on the ceiling. That's what it looked like to me.
I wonder if there's a journal entry about that.
Could be.
Today, my teacher named some dots. Important question here. I'll never forget the night I had to stay in a cave. Did you have to live in a cave at one point?
I mean,
it was a cold day in late December. I was enjoying watching the snow fall. I would have been out playing in it if I would have been well, of course. For the last 2 days, I had come down with a terrible bug. The doctor was coming in to see me today. My mom kept saying that I just had a cold, hoping that it was nothing worse. But I knew that what I had was worse. I kept seeing flashes of a large dark hole in my mind.
whoa.
Yeah. While staring out in the snow, I saw a small figure moving out in the distance. It wasn't the doctor.
Foreboding. Foreshadowing.
Just so you know, that's not the doctor that I was mentioning earlier in the story. It's a different moving thing.
The doctor isn't a void. The doctor isn't the nothing.
He was kind of small, this man. Was very large. Oh, the doctor was very kind of small.
Okay.
The man was very large.
Gotcha.
I don't know why, but I went outside and looked for the man. I ended up in a dark hole in a cave. I realized the one I kept having flashes of.
Holy shit.
How
far did this go?
A few more lines.
Okay.
I looked outside. It was getting dark. I decided to spend the night there, and in the morning I woke up feeling great.
He really took a turn at the end there, didn't he?
I'm going to say there's some plot holes there. And the climax, not great.
Pretty non-existent.
I went into a cave. I went to sleep.
Yeah.
So
It was a great night. Warmer in there than you would think.
that needs some analysis right there.
Dude, this whole thing is, and I hate to, I'm such a sunshine guy for the most part. You know me. Mm-hmm. Would you say I'm sunshiny?
You are so disgustingly sunshiny.
But in 5th grade, I was a dark kid, man.
Yeah. You like your family just the way it is.
Yeah.
You are an only child, but your teacher didn't know that.
Oh.
I'm sorry, I didn't read that correctly. I didn't know that! She exclaims a lot.
She writes like Stan Lee.
No, there's one. Good.
Okay.
That one she was not excited about. That one, God. It was just like, good.
That actually makes me a little sad that she didn't like that one.
But this one, sounds good! If you could be any age, you would have been a baby. Because you wouldn't have to do anything for yourself. You could just lay around all day and not do anything. Just lay around and sleep and eat and sleep all day long.
Wow.
No school, no homework, no running around till my legs give out. No worrying about anything, just sleep. Were you a tired kid?
I must have been. I like a lot. The other big theme here is just like total laziness. Like I don't. If I can,
I now have this image of you at recess, just like sitting off to the side, and someone's like, "Hey, Justin, come play," and you go, "Huh, my legs have been through too much today, kid. Just leave me be."
I want to die here. We're all going to die at 3 o'clock. Kaboom.
I'm going to my mind cave. There's not a doctor there.
But I'll wake up and I'll feel great. And none of you will be here. None of you assholes.
Especially you terrorist.
Jump on my ribs. Jump on my ribs.
Oh,
holy shit.
I don't know if I have anything like this
in your life.
From when I was a child.
That's why I keep shit, man.
Well, I mean, I wasn't in charge of my stuff in 5th grade.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
I mean, it depends on whether my parents kept things.
Do you know that they did?
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't asked.
Maybe
I
they
don't
did.
really care. I'm sure at some point I'll go, I wonder what I did. And then I'll look at it and go, oh, I was an idiot.
Yeah.
I was a real dumb kid.
That's sort of, I don't feel like that right now, but I do feel like I feel a little weirded out, like as an adult, hearing such like dark thoughts come from me when I was, how old are you in 5th grade?
10 or 11,
10, 11, yeah.
depending on where your birthday is at.
Yeah.
If you could clone another person,
Uh-oh.
who would you choose and why? I'll let modern day Justin answer this first.
Okay, all right. If I could clone a person,
Yeah.
who would I choose and why?
Now, keep in mind, you can't clone a person who is dead and rotted.
Okay, all right.
I mean, I assume that DNA probably is not clonable.
Usable.
Yeah.
It's degraded too much.
I'm not a scientist.
Yeah.
I know that's a shock, but I assume that's the case.
Let me think about this for a second. My first response was Barack Obama, but I don't want to go with that. I was just thinking about all the more he could like spend some time with his family, and then he could go do stuff too. Who would I clone? The gut response is to say yourself, right? Because if you clone yourself, you could get a lot more done, and you the original. This is what always happens in these stories too. You, the original, put all the shit you don't want to do on the clone, and inevitably, the clone has personal, not efficacy. Why do I always use that word? They have a sense of self. They don't want to be a slave, so they revolt and they try to murder you.
Which is why you would build the robot to do all the things.
Right.
Yeah.
And then there's the penultimate scene where your loved one is holding the gun, ready to kill whichever one is not the original, and you've got both saying, "It's me. I'm the original. I'm the one.
Right.
Don't kill me."
Have you ever wondered in those scenes if they shoot the wrong one?
Yeah.
I mean, because if you're the clone, you'd still be like, "Oh, you chose me, good," and go hug them.
Yeah, of course.
Because you still, I mean, it may often be that they shoot the wrong person in those scenes.
Who would really know?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the clone would have the memories of finding out they were a clone.
Yes. The clone is the only one who would know.
The clone is the only one who could
And
know.
the clone isn't going to tell.
No.
Snitches get stitches, even if you're a clone. This is how your life has changed.
Okay. In
So
22 years?
yeah. So your answer was clone yourself so that you could eventually be shot.
Really?
Well, that's what you just said.
Oh, okay, yeah.
5th grade, Justin. I don't think I'd clone anyone. It's too dangerous. I mean, who knows what the consequences would be? Besides, it's inhumane. There would have to be at least a few mistakes. By mistakes, I mean people that may end up being deformed, and then what are you going to do with these mistakes? What about the effects on the original person? What if one died? What would happen to the other?
I really thought about this.
Well, that's what your teacher said. She said it was very thought-provoking.
Wow.
Excellent! Underline,
Oh, yeah!
exclamation mark.
Home run. We're going through the rest of these, aren't we?
I don't know. We'll see.
There's a lot.
We'll see.
You're flipping.
She's also a terrible procrastinator. I'm mostly, at this point, interested in your teacher.
Yeah, more so.
As a human being, I'm very curious about this teacher.
I think she was trying, and I think we pushed her over an edge. What?
I don't even care about the rest of the story. I just want to read the beginning.
Okay.
What I did on spring break. On spring break, I mostly couldn't stay dry. The end.
I was so...
It was a moist spring break.
I was damp to my legs. My worn out legs. I was so damp to the bone.
Man, Georgia's a strange place.
Georgia is a strange place.
You know
man.
what? I don't know what the point of these assignments were.
Yeah.
But the thing I find most disturbing about it is your punctuation. Clearly not on point. I mean, you're a fifth grader, bad punctuation, and your teacher didn't at any point in time say, "Hey, maybe like a period or a comma."
No, she didn't edit that at all, did she?
No, she just made little comments, except for one that she just put a check mark next to.
She does say, I think at the end of the journal there,
Yeah.
that I did an excellent job.
Let's see.
Like not, yeah, there you go, somewhere in there. Thanks for keeping a great journal or something like that.
Thank you for. It is. After making fun of how much she exclaimed, it's the one piece where she put a period.
All right. All right.
Thank you for keeping such a good journal this year.
Sweet.
Smiley face.
Aww.
But she's not excited about it.
It's just sort of pleasant.
Oh, you'd get rid of hate if you could make one thing in the world just.
Oh, hate. That's a good. Wow. Good answer.
You have one where you're whining about your feet hurting now too. All right.
An angry, dark, painful, in pain child.
I think maybe you should have found that doctor instead of the random cave stranger. Yeah, a lot of leg issues. Below the waist, you were just broken and wet.
Above the waist, depressed. Just horribly depressed for a 10-year-old.
Oh, man. So, there's that. Somewhere,
Yeah.
we have a listener that has a background in psychology, I'm sure. And they're going to be listening to this, and it's going to be impossible for them to not analyze you from what just happened.
Of course. No, I mean, yeah, and if they do, I would love to hear what they have to say. Mm-hmm. I would love that.
Would you?
I would. I'm always interested in anything.
No matter what?
Pretty much.
There's nothing they could tell you that you don't want to hear.
I mean, clearly I survived. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a decently healthy individual now. You know? I'm alive. I'm functioning.
You're all sunshine and gumdrops.
That's me, baby.
Yeah.
That's me. And Steinbeck candles.
Yeah.
That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
Oh, I also tweeted the Patty Wax Company, and they liked it too. They were a little slow. Took them about 5 days.
They had to figure
get to
out
that tweet.
That whole time they were trying to figure out if you were being sarcastic.
Exactly. By the way, the title, the fact that these people liked it at all is pretty admirable. Because the title to last week's episode was "How I Met Kanye," or "People Who Should Have Died in 2016." Sounds a little bit like hate speech, just a little.
It sounds like a Kurt Vonnegut short story.
It does.
He always double titled everything.
Or yeah, exactly.
What you got there?
I really don't have anything.
You're perusing your.
I'm just
Are you looking for modern day journal
flipping
entries to share?
I could do that.
Oh, I don't know if the world's ready for that.
No, I don't think the world needs that. Actually, I do have my modern day journal in front of me here.
Do you, in there, at any point in time, talk about how hard it was for you to stay dry?
Let's see. No, it doesn't look like that.
Oh, I didn't even see all of this in the folder.
Is there more shit in there?
Well, I didn't look at the actual writing folder.
Oh, a writing folder.
Your teacher's name was Eaton.
Oh, wait, that's a different grade then.
Well, why is it in here?
I don't know. They'll probably just shove stuff together. Why do I have a Christmas tree that I made out of string?
I don't know. Why do you have an attendance record that is just a list of the students?
Well, obviously.
I can go name by name, first and last, for everyone.
Please don't do that. I don't know any of these people. God knows where they are now.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay.
What you got?
We're going to do... well, that one's way too long.
Some loose leaf material there, yeah?
Yeah. These are all edited, by the way.
Okay.
By the teacher.
All right.
I'm going to let you choose. Both of these, by the way, got an A.
Oh, perfect.
Because in the state of Georgia, there are no standards. Zoom, zoom, zoom.
Zoom, zoom, zoom.
You get to choose between my commitment to the Furture.
Okay.
Which I'll remind you,
Furture.
the teacher did circle this, but you still received an A. Or there's something growing in my bathtub.
Oh shit. This is a tough choice. Can I tell you what I'm thinking right now? I feel like the listeners would be more interested in there's something growing in my bathtub, but maybe I'm wrong. I really want to hear about my commitment to the Furture. But
let's see. I'll see if there's anything good
okay.
here.
Is there anything insightful in there? What was I committing to at that age?
Yeah, we'll do the Furture.
Okay, let's do the Furture. Future, by the way.
Furture.
Is what I meant.
My commitment to the Furture. The Furture? I guess people have thought about their Furtures since time began. What they'll do with their life. Who they'll meet along their way. My Furture? By the way, your teacher circled the first 2 times you wrote Furture.
Yeah.
And then just like went,
Did I misspell it through the whole thing?
yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. After 2 just went, I don't even care anymore.
The Furture.
This isn't what I had planned for my life. Who they'll meet along their way. My Furture? Well, my Furture is going far beyond what I'll do with my life.
Whoa.
How about how far I'll go? Maybe to the top? Yeah, that sounds good. The top. That's where I'm going. Wait. How am I going to get there? I guess I'll just have to work hard and long. But more than that, I'll need to make sure I keep focused on my goal. Yeah. Keep Faust.
Fast?
Yeah, I'm reading it correctly. Because there are bound to be a few bumps in the road ahead.
Wow.
Bumps that will try and hold me back from completing my slow journey to the top. But despite all of that, I will make it, and I will succeed.
Wow.
Actually, it just says succeed.
Oh.
But, I mean, not like leave
From the
United States.
Union?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that I have figured out what and how my Furture is going to be, it is your turn to make your commitment to the Furture.
The Furture.
Commit to the Furture!
You must commit to the Furture. Yeah, that was pretty terrible. I mean, it's just so general. I was hoping for some specifics.
You realize that you could take what you wrote there,
Yeah.
correct a few spelling errors, and expand it from that to like 200 pages.
Oh, yeah.
You got a self-help book that's going going straight to the top 10 on the New York
Robbins
Times
is
list.
knocking on my door. Hey, I got to get some of that Furture going.
Hey. How are you going to get to the top? You're going to have to work long and hard.
No matter what your goal. Chapter 1, working long and hard.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, you want to stretch it out. Working long.
Oh, there's
Chapter 2.
working hard.
Working hard.
Very good, Nathan. Very good.
Title: The Furture.
And how it can be yours.
You and your Furture. Becoming the most you can be.
Remember that every journey begins with one step.
I almost feel like you should expand that to like 20 pages and put it up as an ebook.
Oh God.
And see if anyone buys that.
Let's do it. We should do that. It can't cost that much to put up an ebook.
No, it's like nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Put it up on Apple?
Yeah, sure.
Let's do it. Yeah. Commanding your Furture.
Look, a journey starts. It's a long journey.
Long and hard.
Just long and.
Just yeah.
Long
dot,
and.
dot. turn the page to find out. And I could spend half the book talking about my journery.
Yeah.
And then we get into the motivation bit.
Yeah, you have to talk about your journey.
Yeah.
Then you explain how your journey can help people in the Furture achieve their goals on their journey.
I got to.
There are going to be people who try to stop them on their journey.
Oh, absolutely.
But you got to try. Hard and long.
You got to
long
do both
and hard.
Both of those things.
Long, hard. Long, hard. You want the length?
Yeah.
And you want the hardness.
You do.
That's how you work.
You don't want soft and short.
No. You don't want a tiny, very soft journey.
Nope.
You got work.
Journey.
Hard. Yes, journey. Hard and also very long.
Very long. Extremely rigid even.
Yeah.
You got to just go for it. If you want to get to the top, if you want to secede from the Union. It's the only way you can do it.
The whole hard and long thing.
Yeah.
I like to imagine that 6th grade you was writing that whole thing just going, ha, penises.
Knowing me, probably not.
Penis.
Grade that, teach.
The teacher took it around to all the teacher's friends and went, hey, look what this kid wrote. You gotta check this out.
And one teacher rolled a tear and said, I'd like that. What about my journey?
Oh. And the other one went, he didn't blow up the school yet. Really thought that was happening soon.
There were so many teachers back then when we were in school that literally wore like denim dresses with apples sewn onto them.
That is true.
Isn't that true?
Do teachers still do that?
No. Teachers are much more stylish today than they were then.
But was that stylish then?
It was, but it was so
like
bad.
Teacher stylish.
Yeah. But now teacher style is like everybody's.
How do you know? Do you go to school?
Listen, I know a lot of teachers.
Yeah, but
Just saying.
Are you in their class?
Along the way, on my journey to the top, I've met a lot of teachers. And
I feel like I'm going to have to ask my wife about this since she works at a school.
You should ask her.
I know she doesn't wear denim with apples sewn on it.
Like embroidered apples.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's also not a teacher.
Yeah.
So that's a whole separate thing.
You got to get into it. You got to know.
Did you have all the male teachers in our school also participated in athletic endeavors at some point? So you had the lady teachers, female teachers, in their denim dresses with their apples. Yeah. Vests, a lot of vests.
A lot of vests.
For whatever reason.
Pencils on the vests.
Yeah, teachers love vests. The guys, all in my school, wore like parachute pants.
Yeah.
with either a t-shirt or a polo still tucked into the parachute
pants. Or like
pants.
a sweater. Yeah.
It was very strange.
Oh my God. I just had a vision. I used to go to after school. Mm-hmm. And we had a coach who was like one of our, quote unquote teachers for after school, right? After school's where you like stay behind, right? Because
after school?
Your folks can't pick you up.
Like there's school.
Right.
But like where in the day did this fall?
Like this was like right after school till about 5 or 6.
It was after school.
After school.
After school was after school.
After
okay,
school,
I got it. I got you.
So yeah, but he totally did. He always wore a white t-shirt tucked into parachute pants. And then like nice sneakers. Yeah. Like running shoes. Mm-hmm. Holy shit.
Parachute pants in the 90s for teachers are like yoga pants are today for basic white girls.
Yes. Basic.
Like it's the equivalent.
Yeah. So true. Well, I mean, like, and I didn't even have that many male teachers. I don't think I had any male teachers.
Oh no,
high
it's
school.
like 5% of teachers were male, but they also were all coaches.
They were
at
all
the
coaches.
Same time.
Yep, all coaches. There was when I was in middle school, by the time I had moved to the country, there was like a romance going on. Have I told this story?
I don't think so.
There was a romance going on between a coach and a home ec teacher.
Oh.
And I had her, and
scandalous.
Oh, it was. and it, they got out eventually, but I had home ec with this teacher, and we never did a damn thing. And he would come, not every day, but almost every day, and she would like give us some assignment, and then they would go in like her little office, which was closed off from the rest of the classroom. And I remember this so distinctly.
Yeah, coach.
And he wore exactly that, and he was such a gross guy. Anyway, but yeah, it gave me the heebie-jeebies, man.
Now here's the question, because I know this is the case in my life. At the time, I know that you probably were thinking, they're so old, gross.
Yeah.
How old, now that you're an adult, do you think they actually were?
Oh, God. They were probably... they seemed like they were 55 then, but they were probably in their mid-30s.
Yeah. That sounds
Isn't that weird?
Yeah. That happens all the time. Like, I think back to a teacher being really, really old, and then I'm like, oh, they were 28. Okay.
Right. I had these quote-unquote young teachers who were young. I mean, I think they were literally like right out of college. That was my kindergarten teacher and my third grade teacher.
Yeah.
Were both like bouncy young, with all the fresh.
Did they do the whole stand and deliver thing?
Oh, God. Well, we did like...
Was there a lot of wondering how they can reach these kids?
No, because we were pretty reachable. we were... We were just looking for a lot of like exclamation points, The 90s was a very like kid positive,
that's true,
in some ways, era, and so there was like shit that should have been addressed that didn't get addressed. It was just like, yay! It was kind of that.
It was the beginning of the participation trophy era.
It kind of was.
And now we're full blown in the participation.
Are
trophy
we? I don't know where we are anymore.
No, participation trophy.
That's
era.
where we are. Yeah.
Here's a question for you.
Gotcha.
As a father of a child that shares your genes, and also your wife's, she birthed the child.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Wait a minute.
When do I need to go into more details, or
let's skip over. We'll get back.
I mean, you guys doinked, and then you had a baby.
What?
Huh? Now, when your child gets old enough to participate in events, let's say your child wants to, I don't know, play water polo.
Okay.
Because your kid's not going to play any normal sport.
Why?
I mean,
because I'm me.
Yeah, you're
you
you.
Son of a bitch.
Well, you think he's going to play?
I don't know, but he's
going to play like water polo, or he's going to be on the all-city croquet team. It's going to be something bizarre.
You listen to me right now. If he shows a proclivity, for baseball, football, hockey, basketball, I'm fucking there, man.
Right, but he's going to be like the captain of the badminton team is what's going to happen. It's going to be something weird.
Fuck you, Nathan. When your kid's going to be Mr. Baseball?
No.
Just because you like baseball?
Well, I mean, it helps.
I hope, for the record, Oliver Holden, assuming you hear this someday.
Yeah.
Oliver...
They're never listening to
I
this,
love
by the
you,
way.
but I hope you're the captain of the fucking badminton team, as your father has suggested. And I hope my kid...
I would be fine with that.
...plays minor league baseball. I mean, I'd be fine with it too, but like, you're basing it off of me.
I'm just saying that odds are it would be a weird sport. Like horse dancing.
Horse dancing? Is that a sport?
That's an Olympic sport. Check it out.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So let's say he's the captain of the horse dancing team.
I'm stopping just so we can move on. Okay. Fuck you.
So they're not a good horse dancing team.
Okay.
In this scenario. Like, he's the best on the team.
Yeah.
But it's an awful horse dancing
bunch
team.
Of donkey dancers.
They might as well be dancing on their own.
Okay.
Because they would dance just as well as those horses.
Okay.
However, everyone gets a participation trophy.
Okay.
For their horse dancing tournament.
Sure.
I'm really regretting my sport of choice here.
Yeah, you should. You should.
Do you just go, hey, great job?
Uh-huh.
Or because I actually legitimately have debated this.
Okay.
Do you have to explain, hey, your horse dancing team kind of sucks balls? Like, they're not good. Because I don't like the participation trophy thing.
Yeah.
I feel like it's good for children to learn that they're not good at everything. However, like there are sports leagues, for instance, let's say, I don't know, like a horse dancing league, where they don't keep score.
Really?
Because they don't want they don't want to discourage kids.
No, I mean, I in theory, I'm inclined to agree with you that like, that it's good. You don't suck at everything. No one sucks at everything.
Yeah, I mean, some people do.
Besides those people, no one sucks at.
But I mean, those people.
Yeah.
You know what they don't suck at?
Sucking.
Being the worst.
Yeah. They're the best at being the worst.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I mean, in principle, I agree with you because, like,
yeah,
just from my life experience, like, I've had trouble picking something before.
Right.
Because I thought that I could do everything because everyone always told me that I could do everything. Mm-hmm. And that's really not true.
Yeah,
like,
it's not great.
You have to pick stuff. Because if you don't pick anything, you just kind of fumble around in your life forever. You know what I mean?
And you have, the kids these days.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard of the kids these days.
I've heard
but they
of them.
all think they can do everything.
Well, and you could do more than one thing. I'm not saying...
No, you don't have to specialize.
Right.
But you should know... I mean, and let's say your child's not even the captain of the horse dancing team.
Okay. Fine.
He's at the bottom of the totem pole.
All right.
Does
he love it? Is he loving it?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
He loves horse dancing.
Okay. All right.
I don't know even where you got the horse for him to horse dance with.
Saved it from a glue factory.
He loves to do the waltz with the horse.
Okay.
The
Can.
Yeah, mambo.
Bossa Nova.
They do all of the dancing.
Okay.
Him and the horse.
All right.
It's not like ballroom dancing. It's good.
What
but
do you
he's
know
the
about this?
worst.
Okay.
He's the worst at
He's
it.
the bottom.
If he's enjoying it, who cares?
Exactly. Who cares?
But at the same time, he shouldn't go, and I'm also the best at this that ever lived.
No. Yeah.
He should have some a realistic look.
Realism.
Like,
yeah.
I played baseball. I knew not the best.
What position did you play?
It depends.
Okay, you played.
I mean, I bounced around.
Did you?
I didn't play pitcher.
First base?
Had no control. Couldn't play pitcher.
Okay.
Probably a couple games. Mostly outfield or second.
Okay. Second base.
Yeah. Not shortstop. I hated shortstop. Don't know why.
They always stuck me in the outfield because I was terrible.
Third a couple times.
It's important. That's an important position.
That's the hot corner.
Yeah.
You don't want to be in the hot corner. They hit that hard. Line drives right at you.
Boom.
That's why they call it the hot corner.
Yeah, I think grounding him.
Yeah. So
now this problem in some ways would take care of itself
because you can't afford a horse.
Well, yeah, but like we're never gonna do horse dancing. Probably,
but that's the only thing he likes.
If that is all he likes, then I'll do everything I can to get him into horse dancing. But yeah, if he has a delusion that he's awesome at it and he's not, like I would just encourage him to practice more.
Yeah.
Like
you don't want him being, I don't know, let's say thinking that he could do something like let's say there's a band that thinks they can make music, but it turns out they're Nickelback.
Ding.
You don't want him to be the Nickelback of horse dancing.
Right, that's true.
His one true passion in life.
But to be fair, Nickelback, they
have been wildly successful.
Yeah, they've made a lot of money.
So maybe he could be the Nickelback of horse dancing.
Maybe. Who cares? I started writing a country song today, totally by accident, hoping someday that it'll make $1 million and I can just only have written the one and then I can live the rest of my career.
Is the song called I Hope This Song Makes $1 Million?
No, that would be good though. No, it is called Hang on, let me pull this up for you here.
Are you sure you want to reveal this?
Well,
have you copywritten it?
It's copywritten right now because we're doing this.
I guess that's fair.
Yeah, it's called "I Want to Drink Something with a Lime in It."
Like limeade?
No, like
cherry limeade.
Sure.
That's good stuff. Yeah, man.
Sonic. It's an ad for Sonic.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, that would get you $1 million. You write a jingle for Sonic.
Holy shit. $1 million? Sonic.
Well, I mean, they'd have to bump the two guys that are in all the Sonic ads. So yeah, you'd get $1 million off that eventually.
Bump them.
Yeah. They'd have to get bumped.
I like the idea that instead of like firing them, as you're suggesting, they just murder them.
Yeah. Bump them off.
Hey, we got hot dogs for a week.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. They can fall back on their other passion in life.
Horse dancing. Sushi jackknife.
Sushi jackknife.
Logically illogical. Logically illogical. Logically illogical. Logically illogical. 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 Illogical.
Angus here in a return appearance. Just now having my nipples lathered and buffed. For the full logically illogical track, please visit our brand spanking new Bandcamp page at sushijackknife.bandcamp.com. Special thanks to Nebraska Roy for inspiration.
Thanks for listening. Follow Justin Croft at Justin L. Croft, Nathan at Badlands Badly, and Sushi Jackknife's very own consciousness at Sushi Jackknife. Email us at sushijackknife@gmail.com or explore our disciplined curated Tumblr page at sushijackknife.tumblr.com. Or give us an iTunes review